Hi, I'm a squeaky squeaky voice, and now I'm going to review a Certain Scientific Railgun. So, Certain Scientific Railgun is a story about a girl with incredible superpowers that lets her shoot a coin like she's some kind of mega bazooka. Like a cannon, like a railgun cannon. It's really, the first time you see it, it's one of the most awesome things in anime. In any case, she has a lesbian best friend who's constantly perving on her. Thank you, pervy nerds of Japan. Thank you for bringing us the extra pervy lesbian roommate. Thank you so much. In any case, like any other high school, like any other anime in Japan, it's about high school. Not only is it about high school, they have actually gone the step of making a city out of high schools. Not just some city that randomly sprang up, I mean a city completely designed to house high school students. Real high school students. For a city of high school students with superpowers. And they're code espers, unfortunately. Every single time an anime guy has to explain away teen superpowers, they go esper. If you have psychic abilities, you're an esper. If you have weird techno powers, you're an esper. And now, if you shoot fire out of your ass, or railgun fire a coin or teleport, you're an esper again. Esper, 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 esper. It's really getting a little bit lazy. I'm just saying, it's a little bit lazy. So, this esper high school student with a lesbian best friend who's constantly perving on her. And surprisingly, the best friend is the pink-haired girl, not the main protagonist, but the best friend with the pink hair is not the daddy. But she has pink hair. Very strange. So, our main protagonist has a boyfriend who's not really her boyfriend, but just happens to be around every single time there's any sort of romantic situation, and no, he doesn't end up with her. Surprisingly, even though they split him off in his own series, the guy has his own spin-off series called A Certain Magical Index, that guy who got his own spin-off series doesn't end up with her lead. I don't know why they never got those two together. I heard there was a movie, and it didn't happen. I am really getting upset with this whole not getting your two main love interests together thing in anime. Just, they make entire seasons of anime and then they stop. Like, stop. And it's annoying. You're expected to read the manga, but you don't know the first thing about finding the manga or finding the manga in English. So, that's annoying. But in general, it's done really well. There's an entire subplot about cloning, which becomes a major plot of the second season, where she has an army of clones who aren't as powerful as her because she's one of the strongest superpowered teenagers in the city of teenagers with superpowers. And these other teenagers, these other copies of her, just happen to not run into her mom. They are all together linked under this one psychic computer-like network, and there's a little girl clone who runs the entire network, but none of them ever run into her mom. And it's really insane what happens but with the youngest clone. You see, these clones were meant to power up this bad guy, and because they were clones and because they're linked into a psychic network, they have this way about them where they're like human computers. Like, look around and everything's numbers and stuff. And they're meant to die. You see, this guy who's meant to power up through them, he needs either to kill a whole bunch of superpowered people, or he can build up his power by killing weaker and weaker superpowered clones, but they're at a much lower power level. So this guy has essentially had an entire biological village of clones of this girl made to kill him, made for him to slaughter, but he hasn't quite achieved his supreme level of power yet. And he meets the original, and he plays around with her, breaks her hand, and then slaughters clones of her in front of her. And those clones of her he slaughtered in front of her. They're not playing it for laughs. They're not just taking things easy and then making things super uncomfortable. They are super uncomfortable to the nth degree. There's a scene with a lot of blood in a series, in the spin-off series. It's portrayed with far less blood. When you see it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's insane. Whenever there's a girl lead in an anime, expect infinite amounts of blood. So this guy, for some reason, he gives up, right? So the clones end up, there's about 10,300 or something left of them. He's killed over 9,000. Not even kidding. I think it was over 9,000. He gives up on his whole superpower quest when the weakest, supposedly weakest esper in the entire city blocks his power. And this guy, basically he adopts the youngest one of the clones, and he's like her big brother, and it's insane.